Hi friends, today we are going to create one basic LWC component to understand the concept of how we can call Apex method in LWC. So to understand that better, I'm planning to create a LWC component which will display here a list of account records. So we'll try to display some information from account records in that component. So at the back end, we will create one Apex method which will simply return a list of account records. And then in LWC component, we'll try to call that method. And with the help of lightning card, we will display that list of account in the component. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a Apex method which will return us a list of account. In last example, we have taken a backup of our EMC square org. So here you can see we do not have any classes created in that org. So first of all, we'll create one class. We'll name it as account helper, and in that account helper class, we'll write the method which will return us the list of account record. Okay, so let's right click on this, create Apex class. Here we need to provide a name. We'll say account helper. We'll choose the default directory. Okay, so here we will just write a method which will return us a list of account record. List of account, and we'll name that method as get account list. Here we will simply return list of account. So we'll write the query here. Select ID, name, type. Let's take rating from account. Okay, so our method is ready. This method will simply return a list of accounts. So in order to use this method in our LWC, we need to aura enabled it. Okay. Oops. Aura enabled. Shapeable is equals to true. Okay, now let's save this method and class as well. So this is done. Our method is ready. Now we need to create a LWC component to call this method. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a component. So we will create a LWC component and name it as wire property example. Then we want to add this LWC component on the Lightning homepage. So we will be adding the targets in meta.xml file. Okay, so let's go ahead and create this component. Create Lightning web component. Name it as wire property example. Enter. Okay, so the component got created. First, we'll update this meta.xml file. Okay, here we need to make two changes. First, this is exposed needs to be set as true so that this component will be available, and then we will be adding the targets. Okay, so under target, we need to add lightning homepage. We are done. Click on save. It is saved. Okay, so we want to call the apex method which we have created under this class in this LWC component. So let's see how we can do that. So there are three ways to call apex method in LWC. First is via a property, second is via a function, and third is calling method imperatively. So you must have came across these three ways somewhere, or even if these are new to you, let's understand what are these and when to use each of these. Okay, so whenever your apex method is called from an LWC component, it either returns you a data or an error. So if you want to consume that data or error as is, then you should go for this first way, that is via a property. Then second is via a function. So suppose you want to perform some logic based on the data or the error returned by your method. In that case, you should go for the second way, that is via a function. And third way, whenever you want to call method based on some event like on click of button or something else, at that point you should use this third way, that is calling a method imperatively. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. In this example, we are going to use this first way, that is based on the data or the error which is provided. We are not going to uh, perform any logic. We are simply going to consume that data. In later videos, I'll try to cover rest of the two ways as well. But for today's example, we are just going to focus on this first point. Okay. Now let's say syntax to wire a property. This is the syntax. First, you need to import the apex method that you have created, and this apex method needs to be replaced with the actual method name that you are using in the class. In our case, it is get account list. So if we go here, this is our method name, and also we need to update this class name with the actual class name, which is account helper. In our case, if there are any parameter, those needs to be updated over here. And this here you need to provide the property or a function name. So this property is going to be hold the data which is returned by our method. Okay, so let's go ahead and update our JavaScript file. So here we are going to wire a property. So just import wire, and then we will just copy this syntax from here. Copy, paste it over here. We'll update this with our method name, which is get account list. Update it here. Then we will update it here as well. Okay, then we need to update the class name also. So our class name is account helper. So this is done. Let's go back to notepad and We need to copy this, go back here, we will paste it over here. Again, copy the method name here. We don't have any parameters, so we will simply delete this part, and here we will give name as account. You can use any name, okay? So I'll just say account. So this is our wired property. It will now it will hold the data or any error which is returned by our get account list method. Okay, so our JavaScript file is ready. Let's save it. We don't have any errors, so we are good. Now we got the data from which is returned by our method. Now we want to display this data. To display this data, we are going to use the lightning card. So let's go to the component library and copy the code for the lightning card. Okay, so this is the component library. Here for this is the code for the lightning card. This is for the basic card. We will use this card with narrow variant. So let's copy this syntax. We'll go to our HTML file. We'll update it over here. We'll end the lightning card tag. Okay. So here if you want you can update the icon name. Okay. So I don't want to update it. We'll use as is. So here we'll provide a title as account list from Apex method. Okay. Now if we go back here, we don't need this footer or rest of the things. Okay. So your wire property will be holding a list of account which is returned by your method. So we want to display each of the record in that list. To do that, we would be using for each directive. So this is for the loop. Okay, so we are going to loop through the list of account and display each record. So for each directive there are two important things. To get the current item, we are going to use this syntax for item, current item. So this will be your variable name. You can give any name. And then second one is the key. So we are going to set the key for each of the records. So if any record gets updated, then only that particular record will be re-rendered instead of all the records. So to have that unique identifier, we are going to set the key for each of this record. So we are going to loop through the account list. To get the current item of the loop, we are going to use this for item syntax, and then we are going to set the key for each of it. So let's go ahead to our HTML file and start using this for each directive. So for each, here we are going to have data in our accounts.data wire property, and we'll be using for item to get the current item from our account list. Let's give variable name as account. So this account will hold the current item from the list of account records. Now we want to set the key. So let's do that. Key is equals to acc.id. So id will be unique for each of the record. So we'll be using that id to set the key. Okay. Oops. Let's remove this double quotes. Okay. Then we will be just displaying the account name here. Okay. For each of that account. Let's save this and we are done. Okay, so what we have done is here we are using this for each to loop through the list of account which are uh, passed by our accounts wire property. So accounts.data will be used to get the list of those account. We are looping through that list, and this for item is used to get the current item of the list, and then here we are setting this key using account.id so that it will be unique, and then we are displaying the name for each of the account we are looping through. Okay, now let's deploy this to our org and see how it looks like. Okay, so first we'll deploy this class. It is done, and now we will deploy this component. This is also done. Now we'll go to our org and we will refresh it. We will edit this home page and add our LWC component. So our component should be here. So here you can see the component. Let's drag it over here. Looks good. Save. Activate. Assigning it as org default. Save. Activation is successful. Click on back. And here you'll be able to see the list of accounts. Okay, so these are the list of accounts which are available in the system, and our component is displaying the name of the accounts correctly. So that's how simple it is to call apex method into the LWC component. So in today's video, we saw one of the way of calling the apex method in LWC. So in upcoming videos, I am planning to cover these two ways as well. That is wire a function when you want to consume when you want to perform some logic on the data before consuming it, and second one is calling a method imperatively, that is on click of a button you want to call your apex method. So I'll cover these two things in my upcoming videos. If you find these videos helpful for you, please do let me know, or add your thoughts in the comment section. I would be really happy to know that these videos are helping you in some ways, or also I would be very happy to know if you have any suggestions or the topics which you want me to cover. It would be great to have that conversation going. Again, I'll be adding all the codes that we have used in this video. I'll be providing link of it in the comment section, and that's it. Yeah, if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share the video with your friends who you think might be looking for this. So see you in the next video. Thank you.